Another thing that you have to understand is that the Monitor album has like a certain structure. It's intended to be like a symmetrical thing. So there's 10 tracks on it, right? And the first track, A More Perfect Union, is kind of like a prologue. I kind of got the idea from Shakespeare, The Taming of the Shrew, which, as we recall, opens with a little scene where, this guy goes to attend a play, and then the play that he watches is, The Taming of the Shrew. And it's like a little framing story. So I was like, maybe I could do something kind of like that, because I'm already on this whole Shakespeare kick with this Titus Andronicus naming convention. So A More Perfect Union functions as a kind of prologue, and the 10th and final track, The Battle of Hampton Roads, functions as a kind of epilogue. As we move inward, each of those tracks has a neighbor, which is a variation of the same song. This is tracks 2 and track 8 are variations on the song Titus Andronicus Forever. And if you look on the liner notes, you see that the actual title is Titus Andronicus Forever, or Theme from the Monitor. So basically, like, More Perfect Union is kind of like the cold open, as we call it in the TV business. And then Titus Andronicus Forever, or Theme from the Monitor, is actually like, now we will actually begin the story. Like, the curtain is rising, and this is our theme song, which is, going to, like, try and encapsulate as concisely as possible the thesis statement of the album, which is that the enemy is everywhere. That's like the big, that's the lyric that everybody remembers. And with that song out of the way, then we will actually begin our proper story, which isn't even really like a linear story exactly, but more of like a series of, I guess, 6 vignettes that will each offer their own take on what it means for the enemy to be everywhere. And if you like, when we go through it and when we talk about each of the tracks, we can check in and say, where is the enemy now according to this particular song? That was the function of it, structurally speaking, was to say, this is what's happening. The enemy's everywhere. Get used to it. Let's talk about it. And now let's begin our show. This is my thesis, and now I'm about to beat you over the head with it until you see that indeed I am correct. I should say, like, this song, it only took me like about 30 seconds to write it. As soon as I hit upon this idea that the enemy is everywhere, that kind of already suggested the melody to me. And then once I had that, I was like, well, I can just put this over a blues riff. And then I came up with the second line, nobody seems to be worried or care that the enemy is everywhere. Meaning, like, the enemy being everywhere is a big problem, but the general public is like so anesthetized and so like numb to the world around them. They're not worried that the enemy is everywhere. They don't even care. They might not even know it because their head is so deep in the sand. So just to come up with those 2 lyrics and put them on top of a blues riff with the little rudimentary melody that occurred to me, that literally took about 30 seconds. Like, it took almost as long to write it as it takes to sing it, because it's just the same verse 3 times or whatever. So it was very, very easy thing to do. It was kind of like just there. I just had to like pull it from the earth like a potato and feast upon it. And, it's an iconic and memorable little song. That was just a gift. It was just a gift from heaven. God just dropped it into my lap and said, like, this will make your little rock opera or whatever the hell it is, concept album, a lot easier for the people to understand. And it's the gift that keeps on giving, because people love putting it in their movies and TV shows and stuff. Like it was just in like last month or something. It was on this CBS procedural mystery drama show called Watson. And it's been in a bunch of other shit. It's been in the HBO show Bored to Death. It was in the movie Premium Rush, where Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a New York City bike messenger who gets into trouble somehow. All these movies and TV shows like the idea of like having a song that tells their audience that the enemy is everywhere.